it's quite interesting, and I'm glad you brought it up because it will at least have people questioning if maybe they are doing too much in terms of on the volume side of things or the frequency side of things. Is it
Yeah.
necessary? Yeah, you can equate your awesome progress to genetics, but let's be honest, like you're not going to be able to tap into those genetics if you're not putting in the work.
No.
You started at a place where you didn't have all that muscle on you. So to say that is,
No.
I think is not, it's not appropriate in a way, right? So
No, I worked it out the other day. I think I've gained in 16 years of weight training specifically. I'm talking through all my college years and everything, you know, prepping food and being, I haven't not hit a, I haven't missed a session in the gym for maybe 8 years, you know.
wow.
You know, and I'm talking like, even then I wouldn't miss that many sessions, you know, it would be the odd one, but definitely in the last 8 years I haven't missed a session. You know, I've probably gained I think 18 to 20 pounds of muscle in 16 years, you know, so it's not really much more than a pound a year. Okay. So it's, there's really not a good, I've seen people gain that in like 2 years naturally, you know. So
Right.
yeah, it's really just plugging away at it and being, you know, being passionate about it, you know, and just loving the process. But the fact that I've trained 3 times per week has played a factor in that, because I've been able to just make small steps forward all the time, as opposed to crushing myself and having to have time off.
Do you think, and I brought it up because a lot of people will associate that lower frequency, lower volume, relatively speaking. And when I mean relatively speaking, I mean relative to maybe the recommendations these days of 5 days per
Yeah.
week, 6 days per week type training, even 4 to some extent, but the 10 to 20 sets, you got to train 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week, which obviously you're not doing. So where I'm getting at with this is, do you think that majority, or there's maybe a certain type of people that respond really well to maybe the approach you're taking, and maybe there is a certain demographic of people that may respond well to the higher volumes, if you will, again relatively speaking, but or is it just the preference that gears them towards that direction opposed to anything else, like the enjoyment factor?
Yeah, so they both will work. They both will work. And let's say if one of you gains, you know, 0.9 pounds of muscle that year, and if you use that approach, you gain 1.1, they're still very, very similar, you know. And I don't think it's a genetic factor. I don't think it's like, well, if you've got this type of muscle fiber, then you respond better to this. I think it's a mindset thing. I think it's if that suits your personality, if you can go in there and get inside your head and be an absolute animal, and when you know, some people's resting reserves, they think they're hitting failure, but they've got 4 or 5 reps in the tank. If you're one of those people, then maybe the more volume would suit you a little bit more. And I've got clients like that. You know, I've got clients that don't want to be, you know, having words with themselves before a set or afterwards, you know, thinking, did I die? You know, I don't know what happened there. You know, they just want to go in and train hard, you know, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make them less of a trainer or less of a person. In fact, it probably makes them a little bit more sane. But I prefer the opposite. I prefer the personal challenge of how hard can I go at this, because I want to be the absolute best I can be. And without giving the effort, how can I tick that box in my head? How can I go on stage knowing that I'm going to be the best regardless? You know, if I didn't train hard, then when I got my second place trophy to Mitch, I would be there looking at my medal going, yeah, I should have given that set of squats where I knew I had 3 more, but I put the bar back. You know, that would be playing on my head for the whole year. So I prefer just to go all in. And to answer your question, to round it up, no, it's not a genetic factor. I have not got superior genetics at all. I haven't got this type of muscle fiber. I just simply train heavy and hard, and my physique now, a decade and a half later, reflects that. It's a product of that training. But if I did 10 sets, who knows? If I did 10, 20 sets per exercise, maybe I'd be bigger. Maybe I'd be softer looking. Maybe I wouldn't be as conditioned. Who knows? But I definitely think it's more of a mindset thing. If you can go there, then don't waste that. Don't waste that. Go hard, because there's not many people that can. There's not many people that can go there.